Hey guys, welcome back to Overtakes. This is Misfit, and I am running solo today. Kel is a little bit under the weather, so I'm going to be giving you our Stage 3, Week 3 predictions, picks, and preview for Wednesday. And then we'll get back together on Thursday, and we'll have our regular, normally scheduled stuff going on, a little banter back and forth between me and Kel. But today, it's me solo. Don't worry, I have Kel's picks, and we will get them out there for you. Don't forget, join up the High Noon Pick'em that we got going on. The link is down below. Join up, and remember, if we get over 200 subscribers before Stage 4 starts, we will throw in a prize for the winner of Stage 4. So let's get at it. Okay, so we have the big one going on to start off the day. We have the Valiant taking on the Gladiators in the Battle of LA. Kel has the Valiant. Let's get into my thoughts on this, and it's not too far off of what he has to say. I'm a little torn on this one. I really don't have a complete gauge on there. I am going to go with the Valiant in this one. This is always a good match. These guys play together, play against each other. They play really, really close matches. Always is entertaining. There's always something unexpected that happens. We've had the first two times they met, we had, the Valiant were the better team in the first stage. The Gladiators were kind of reeling and not doing well, and they took the Valiant to the five maps. And then last stage, we had the same thing going on, except for opposite. The Gladiators were playing a little better than Valiant, and we went 5 matches in that one. So my thoughts on this, the way the Valiant have been playing right now, it's really hard to go against them. Fate and Space right now are probably one of the best tank duos in the league, but they're going up against Bishu and Fisher, who are also, up there. I give a slight edge to, Space over Bishu right now. I would give the edge in DPS. It's really hard. This is where this match is gonna come down to, or who wins. The combination of Bunny, Soon, and Agilities going for, the Valiant. And then we have the monster that is the Gladiators, DPS lineup where we have, Surefour, and we have Hydration and Asher, all just rotating around and all doing a good job. And, it's a hard one to pick. Going into the map pool for this one, this is where this could determine some stuff, but these teams are very versatile, and they have a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things. So it's, we got Anubis. It's basically stage 1. So we have Anubis, Numbani, Ilios, and Junkertown. I tend to give the Valiant a slight edge. Very slight. But with the way Surefour has been playing Widow, with the maps on here that he could use Widowmaker on, it's going to be really close. This is definitely going to be the match of the day. It has tons of playoff implications. I mean, this is stage playoffs, and this is where we're going to see if the Gladiators can rise up and jump up into that fray of 6 teams that are, 16 and 8, where you have your Valiants and the Philadelphia Fusion and teams like that. This is going to be very, very interesting getting into later on for later on in the season. But I'm going to go with the Valiant in this one. And, so is Kel on that. So the next match, we're going to take you to the San Francisco Shock taking on the Dallas Fuel. Well, we've said all we needed to say really about the Fuel in the last few days. They got rid of Kai, they got rid of Rascal. Apparently Rascal is a toxic ass per members of the team, and he just didn't want to cooperate. I don't think he wanted to be there. Who does? I mean, honestly, that team is a mess. Getting rid of Kai was a great move by them. I think that he really just wasn't fit to be a head coach. I think he was, he'd be a decent assistant coach and maybe work back into a head coach job later. It's just the stuff that he had to work with, and I don't know what happened all behind the scenes, but it seemed like management was meddling and just making his job a living hell. And that being said, though, he still didn't make the right decisions. San Francisco is still trying to find themselves here in this stage. We got Super in there, playing a really good main tank for them, doing a lot of things. Last week, he was a little off. I think he was getting focused hard because he is the better of the 2 tanks that they have, and their DPS are a pain in the ass is to figure out for other teams. So if you get rid of Super, you don't have the space for Baby Bay to work, or Sinatra, or Dante, or whoever you have rolling in there. And then you got their supports are really good right now. Moth and Sleepy are playing at a very high level. And Dallas is just, quite frankly, is a mess. The OGE has been a good pickup. His issues with boosting and all that crap aside, he has actually helped them out a lot. But here's the thing. Is it enough? And I don't think it is. Because I think they should have Seagull in there. And Kel can back me up on this one too. They should have Seagull in there all the time on the Diva for right now. Mickey's okay, but I think Seagull's better. And he provides a lot more leadership vocally than I think Mickey does. Mickey provides a lot of positive energy, which is this team also needs all the time. There's something about when Seagull's in there, they play better. And it's just the way it is. That being said, their DPS, you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know who's going to be pissed off. Generally, it's Effect. And if Effect's in Effect 316 mode, they're going to be in trouble. But San Francisco. But I really don't think that's the case. I know Kel has picked San Francisco. And, I'm going with San Francisco as well, simply on the fact that I think they're in a better headspace right now than Dallas. Dallas has got so much drama, so much crap, so much stuff going on. Everybody spouts off on Twitter. Everybody spouts off on this, and people are saying it's transparency. There's a difference between transparency, just whining and complaining. That's not transparency, folks. Transparency is saying, this is what's going on. Complaining about Effect and complaining about other guys on your team, complaining about the coach, complaining about Rascal, the way he was acting, and, saying this isn't happening, that isn't happening, I'm not playing well, he's not playing well, I'm gonna leave. That stuff is bullshit. And San Francisco is gonna take it to them. I'm going with a 4-0. Because they need to win. They need to prove that they're what everybody says they are, which is one of the better teams. And Sinatra and Baby Bay and Dante need to take it up a notch. And in this match, I think they will do that. I think you're going to see a lot more Baby Bay in this, so he can run Widow to go along with Sinatra's Tracer. Because the map pool, you have Anubis, Blizzard World, Nepal, and Junkertown. You're going to get some Sombra in here. You're going to see some Dante. Architect, I don't know what to think about him. I'm sure they're going to throw him in there. I would rather see Dante if they're going to run Sombra. So if you're going to run Sombra, especially on your maps like Nepal and Anubis, that's where I would play Dante. And, if you want to try Architect out on a map, I would honestly put him in on Tracer. Give Sinatra a rest and have him maybe play Tracer on Blizzard World or something. They got to get that figured out. They got to get that whole kind of strange thing going on. They have to get into the headspace that the Gladiators got into where, Hydrations are projectile guy. And then when he's not in there, we have Asher and then we have Surefour and just, keep that whole thing going. I think that is, maybe run Asher, like sometimes they run Asher and Hydration, depending on what they need. And San Francisco's got to figure it out. It's just plain simple. And Super and Nevix just got to get a little bit more on the communication stuff. They got to play together more. There are times when they look really good and there are times when they look really bad. And some of it, like I said earlier, I think is to do with Super getting focused down. I think this is going to be a 4-0. I'm just not in Dallas's headspace right now is not in they're not in a good spot. Yes, they can run AKM on certain maps here and they can run Taimu in certain spots and they can run, Effect all the time. They got rid of Rascal. We'll see what that does. I really don't think that, putting AKM on Genji is going to help anything. Personally, Rascal is a way better Genji, but per them, he was toxic as hell. So you got to get rid of the guy, I guess. I thought different earlier. I thought it was just Dallas being Dallas, but if he was being toxic and being a baby, then he needed to go. So, that's what we got going on for the San Francisco-Dallas match. We both have San Francisco. Obviously, in the last match, we have the Dynasty who need to win a game. And they need to win a game with their big lineup. And by win a game, they need to 4-0 Shanghai. In order to get back up in the map pool, or in the map differential, they need to beat Shanghai 4-0. That being said, let's talk about Shanghai for a minute. Yeah. So, Hi Dragons, you need to work some stuff out here. They're always in disarray. Communication needs to come together. And you need to get your front line and your back line working together. Because I watched some stuff and it just, there is no, like, not even communication, there's no crispness in their play. Everything's like, just kind of, not even quick play. It's almost like when you got solo queue and, it takes you about half a map to get used to playing with the guys. They're at that, but they're on 3 weeks and they're pros. So, obviously, some of that stuff needs to get worked out. Grigori playing good. they need to get, Dia's playing well, and they need to get Dia and Addo, together, working together on the DPS line. They need to get Fearless to stop being too fearless and have a little fear about diving in like an idiot. They need to get, I'm not a big fan of Sky. I've seen him a couple times. He's okay. I think that they need some different comps as well. We talked about that in our review last week. They pretty much run straight dive, or they run variations of, like a counter dive kind of thing. They don't go out of the norm with their picks or anything like that. Maybe we need to, see more Damon in there. I know he didn't do well in the first match, but, maybe Damon and Dia could be a good combo. Maybe give Addo a rest. Also, their supports need to pick it up a little bit too. Let's just be honest. Sky was said to be mediocre to begin with, and he pretty much proved that to me. I'm sorry. Altering is their best support player right now, and I think they need to try to bring in Free Feel or Five King instead of Sky. I think Free Feel and Altering or Free Feel and Five King is a better combo back there. But that being said, Soul's going to win. We both got Soul in this. So, I don't think they're going to get their first win in this match. Maybe later on in the week, there could be, you never know. But let's move on to Soul. So Soul, we had some stuff going on with Soul. So Fleto was sick last week. That was huge. Zumba, in the first match, his wrist was hurt. And I think because Fleto was out, in the second match, they had to go into the second match saying, all right, are you good enough to play? Because we can't have you and Fleta being out. So to me, it screamed like kind of desperation. It's like, you're going to be able to play. So, and that kind of thing. But what they really need to do is they need to get back to the basics of how they win. And it's one thing that I've noticed is they're trying to diddle with the lineup like way too much. Overthinkers beyond overthinkers. And, that lineup of Zunba, Miro, Jaehong, Toby, Fleta, and either Munchkin or, with Keed when you want a projectile kind of Junkratty thing and you don't want Fleta to not play his main hero pool base. I mean, I think that's where you need to go. Maybe, Keed plays on certain maps and he's good. See, but the thing is I would rather have just Munchkin straight playing Tracer and have Fleta pull out his bag of tricks where he can run Junkrat, he can run Genji, he can run Pharah, he can run Widow. He is the one that gets into the match and just, kind of decides what needs to be done. You're starting off the match, obviously, they're on Anubis on defense. He's going to start off with Widow. So, he goes to there, if they progress to the second point, he switches to a Reaper, he switches to Junkrat on defense and let Munchkin just do Munchkin things on Tracer. Just leave Jaehong alone and let him run the show on the field. Jaehong and Toby, Gambler's not bad. Maybe you put in Gambler once in a while for Toby. But when you start subbing in supports, subbing in DPS isn't a bad thing. You can have specialist DPS. It's when you start doing the supports and the tanks especially, you start screwing with the tanks, that shit gets weird. But I just wanted to make a little conversation about this and, talk about where I'm at as far as, these matches and, especially Soul. Soul is just weird right now. They're in like this strange fucking place and it doesn't make any sense to me sometimes, the stuff they run. And we've gone over this a million times. You guys heard me go absolutely bonkers on Soul about their lineup choices and stuff like that. And we'll see what they do tonight. I can almost guarantee instead of what I said, they're going to have some wackadoo thing going on where, you got Zephyr and you got Gambler and you got all these other guys in there. It's just, I don't know. Anyway, that's going to do it for the Wednesday predictions. Don't forget to give us a like, give us a subscribe, sign up for the High Noon Pick'em contest. Also, don't forget we have a Discord channel. Join up for that. Follow us on Twitter, Twitch, and we also have a Facebook page now. I'll have that link down the bottom for you. All you guys have a good Wednesday. Enjoy the matches, and we will talk to you later.